to better myself, to elevate, and then I come back in the dating game, why are there no men that took the time to elevate theyself?
The more you level up as a woman, the smaller your pool of potential mates becomes. We get that, we grant that. But, subscribe, let's talk about it.
I feel like I've heard people say this, but I'm really starting to see that shit in real time. Like, it really is true. The more that women accomplish, the harder it is to fucking date. And it's really because, like, you'll take the time to better yourself, to work on yourself, to focus on yourself. And when you're ready to come back into the dating game, you'll realize that while you were bettering yourself and elevating yourself, the niggas weren't doing anything. So now you're even further away from the standards that you set for yourself. And the shit is kind of like a lose-lose for women. It's really fucking bold, because if I'm sitting here and I'm complacent, then okay, I can find a nigga that's sitting and complacent with me. But if I take a year and a half, 2 years to better myself, to elevate, and then I come back in the dating game, why are there no men that took the time to elevate theyself and do better theyself? Like, the niggas still be in the same place. So now you're even further away from what you want. And the shit is just like, I don't know, that shit is just such like a lose-lose for women, because why do I have to better myself, like I said, and elevate myself, and then when I'm ready to come back into the dating game, you niggas literally have not done any fucking thing, and now I'm expected to lower my standards? No.
You know, here, we're never going to tell a woman to lower her standards. You want what you want, that's fine. But what we have to actually realize, two things, two very important things. First, the amount of growth and the amount of work that you believe you've done, the leveling up you've done, may not be as significant of improvement than you believe it to be. Part of this issue is because we never really give you true feedback. When you talk to your girls, when you talk to your friends, they hype you up. Regardless of what your current station is, they're there to make you feel better, to help your self-esteem. It doesn't matter if you're 275. They're going to hype you up and say, girl, you look good, you got curves. They'll tell you the same thing. Then at 175, they'll tell you the same thing. They'll congratulate you for the weight loss. They'll congratulate you for the journey that you've been on. But the accolades and reassurance is the same. You know you are healthier at 175 versus 275. You know what it took to get to how your life changed during that journey. But what you're receiving is still the same thing. So when you're not really honest or critical with each other, it becomes difficult to ascertain how much work you've actually done, how much change has actually, because there's no real way to measure that. If you're in therapy, if you're done healing, how do you go out there and know? You have to essentially be pressure tested. You have to go out there and see the same things that used to be roadblocks or triggers to you, for you. You then go and see, okay, how do I feel now in this scenario? But when we remove so many obstacles, especially emotional ones, from you, you lack the ability to see how much growth you've actually accomplished. Secondly, when you do level up, and we're saying this absolutely happens, you're successful, you're making money, you have a business, things are going right in your life. The wrong thing that you're doing is you're still looking in that same pool from what you supposedly left. You still want what you want in men that no longer suit your new sort of lifestyle that you were trying to put out there. Now you look at them as their fault. No, it's not. They were never on your journey. Life does not care if they remain right there in their place. Should they? Sure. Will they? Probably not. What do? You have to now go into the next pool. When you see these comments from women saying all this about men, I don't doubt that some of it is true. From a certain class of us, and every race has this. Every single race has this. You have the class that just can't get it right, just refuses to comply, refuses to listen, wants to do everything that they shouldn't do. They want to be criminals. They want to kill. They want to steal. They want to rob. The dregs of society. They want to do these things. And again, this is every race. Every race has this. When you look at that pool and you say, how come you guys aren't doing better? Well, you're not looking where they're doing better. This is the issue. You still like that, but you expect them to do more for you. Part of the growth that you've went through, part of that growth has to be Where am I now actually aligned? But those type of men, you either one, don't see, don't like, or two, and this is the real thing, you can't compete over there. Back to our first point, because the growth that you say that you actually experience, it does not really translate in the dating market. I did all this work on myself. I'm this person, I'm this person. Okay, these are the requirements over here in this dating pool. You don't meet it. You don't meet it. Your circle is a reflection of you and what you entertain. If you're still surrounding by these niggas, this tells you that you haven't elevated in the way you thought. You may have the building blocks, you may have the foundation, you may have the primordial clay ready to go, but you're still in a pool that no longer suits you. You're the big fish in the little pond. And then you're looking around and say, why are they not better? They were never going to be better. You outgrew this, and the last step you have to take is to walk into that bigger ocean, is to now set your side and saying, I did all this work, and now I'm among my peers. I am now back to average. I am now below average. This is why we say, if you're the smartest, brightest, richest one in your circle, you need a larger circle. You need a new circle. So that way you can always be pulling and being pushed towards higher heights. Same thing in dating. If that's what you want men that are better. Those old men, they suited you when you weren't shit. Now you've disappeared for a year and a half. You've done the work. You've leveled up. Okay, great. And we'll say it's legit. It's actual work. And that's your pool. Those men over there, that's your pool. The issue is when you go over there, now things like discipline matter. Now things like how you hold yourself. Now things like how you talk. Now you start realizing that you either need to learn how to code switch because you're behind the ball, because some things that are fine what you're doing over there are not over here. You go over to that pool, right? To the one where people have done the work, people have requisites to be here. And you start saying, nigga, right? No, you'll get just a look, say, okay, this is indicative of where you actually came from. Not saying that they don't say it, not saying that it's not popular vernacular, but they understand in those social spaces, code switch, right? And if it seems weird, it seems unnatural to you, then yeah, you haven't really done some of that work. When we hear women complaining about men are not, cool, we hear you. But there are a bunch of men that have done, that are. They're there. They've existed. They've done that work. You could look at the data, you could look at stats. The fact that they seem to be in a small minority is because the focus is never on that. The focus is never on those that have made it, those that are successful. It's never that. It's always on what's lacking from that. The problem becomes when you go over there to that pool, when you go over to that type of clientele, they have stringent requirements. They run a strict program just like you pretend to run a strict program. It's easier to stay where you are. It's easier to be the big fish in the little pond. It's easier to look at them and say, you are not worthy. You can't lift me on there. You're right here. You're stuck. You haven't done any work. You haven't improved yourself. This is why it's easy when you're better than someone. When you have the upper hand in a relationship, when he is fortunate to be with you, it's safer. It feels better. It feels like you have more control. When you go into that larger pool and you now become average, it's difficult. It's difficult. Specifically when we get into, say, the Black community, when a large part of us are, obese or out of shape, simply fat. When you go into higher echelons, you start to see a lot of these things start mattering. Personality is great, cool. You still need to be beautiful. You still need to be feminine. You still need to be in shape. Those become part of the not even requisites. Not even requisites. This is just an expectation. Of course you're that. Of course you're that. But when you're over here in that first pool, in that pool where you say a nigga and all this is fine. You can be fine. You can be big. You can be sloppy. You can be whatever. You can have multicolored hair. You can do whatever you want. You can be out at 3 a.m. shaking your ass and it's still going to look and say, she got it going on. It's just a difficult thing to sit there and accept. You're going to have to level up entirely. You have to step away from this sort of lifestyle, this sort of neighborhood, these sort of people. And then you go over there and you start competing with those people over there. That's all. And this is only because you've leveled up as a woman. Men don't typically have this issue because the higher up they go, especially monetarily, they can still date whomever, as long as they can tolerate whatever. That's fine for them. We never had that sort of stringent requirement. Women leveling up, doing better in life is not here to shoot that down and say it's not happening. Absolutely. You just have to get someone now on your level. You can't look where you, fortunately, some of you can't look like where you were born. You can't look in them, that village that created you, that neighborhood. You can't look in it anymore. There's no qualified men in that space that you want that have already made it. There's some that are on their way. There's some that are in process, but you want what you want. You just want it from the wrong place. You got to go to the watering hole. I guess it just makes more sense to men who know they have to be the ones that are hunting, pursuing. Women, the higher up you go, the more you have to put yourself in line of where those hunters are. But if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to my voice now, if you have not subscribed, I think you should. We're just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.